Colleagues, I rise today as chair of the California Native American Caucus to ask for your aye vote on ACR 208, recognizing the California Indian Cultural Awareness Conference and reaffirming the significance of California Native American Day to California's First People, which is celebrated on the fourth Friday of September. California is home to the largest Native American population in the country, with many sovereign nations, each with distinct languages, traditions, and identities, yet all sharing a similar story of pain and resilience shaped by colonization. When California first joined the Union in 1850, the promising future of statehood did not include California's first people. Instead, the early decades of our history were marked by fear and violence against the people who call California their home. California's first governor stood before the first legislature in the state of California and declared a war of extermination to be waged against California's first people. That infamous declaration paved the way for destruction and persecution of tribal communities across California. However, in recent years, the legislature has taken meaningful steps towards acknowledging this history and beginning the work of healing with inclusion of California's first people. In 2019, Governor Newsom made history by being the first sitting governor to apologize to California's first people for the violence carried out during early years of statehood. Our own chamber has taken steps in recent years to right the wrongs of the past with legislation like expanding cooperation between California's law enforcement and tribal police to address the issue of missing and murdered indigenous people, which continues to plague tribal communities across the state. Also, establishing the Feather Alert system to start to make sure that when California's first people go missing, that there is an investigation of what truly is happening. Also, increasing protections for tribal children under ICWA, the Indian Child Welfare Act. I also want to acknowledge that many of these legislative victories are possible because of the work of the countless tribal leaders and advocates across the state, including those that we will be honoring today. So today, we will celebrate and acknowledge the resiliency of California's first people and recognize those who have dedicated their lives advocating for justice and cultural preservation. We will recognize a tribal elder from the Pachanga Band of Luiseño Indians who dedicated her life to promoting and preserving cultural and spiritual traditions of her people for future generations. A member of the Paula Indian Reservation, a leader and mentor to community who fought tirelessly to bring critical funding to his and many other tribes in the state. We will also honor an elder of the Yohaviatum, the Samoan Nation, who devoted her life to the well-being of her people and residents of the Inland Empire, who I call my mom. A former chairperson, a Table Mountain Rancheria, who faithfully served to bring stability and prosperity to her tribe. A respected Yurok tribal member and leader and dedicated steward of the land, who devoted his life to protecting California's rivers and natural resources. We will also honor a citizen from Fort Bidwell Indian community and a descendant of the Shoshone-Paiute tribe of the Duck Valley Indian Reservation. She is a distinguished leader and educator moving forward on reclaiming education in the state of California. Their leadership and preservation embodies the spirit of California. Today, as we move forward to honor California Native American Day and California's first people, I would also like to recognize the many tribal leaders from across the state who are in the galley, the families of our honorees, and the allies who have stood with us over the years who made the journey to be here today to show their support for the resiliency of California's first people.